What's up? What's up? Hope y'all doing good on this Sunday afternoon. It's me again, Samira. Another video. Sitting here playing spades with my husband, chilling. Um, I don't know. It's kind of weird energy because for some reason, sometimes my husband and I, we display actions and behavior of certain trauma, childhood trauma that we've been through, especially molestation, because we both experienced it, and it's affected us both in similar and different ways. But I think it's a good thing that we're talking about it and exposing an issue that's very sensitive and it's dealt with in different ways. For instance, my husband, when he went through his situation, he didn't end up reporting it until, it's been like a year ago now. He reported the offense that happened against him a year ago. A matter of fact, I not too long ago reported my molester probably a few years ago. So I think that rightfully so we are, naturally dealing with the beast of molestation and how it's affected us and how it's affected the people around us. But yeah, I've for one definitely been affected by it. Y'all seen me on here. I went through rants. I've personally, privately, I've had breakdowns and breakthroughs, and still dealing with the effects of it anyway. So I think it's a lifelong healing process when it comes to especially being molested as a child. Because if you think about it, naturally so, because what it does is, in a sense, it takes away the pureness at a critical time in your life. So it's definitely something that's worthy of healing from, because it's detrimental to the mental growth and the spiritual growth and just, overall living. Sometimes things can trigger us when we don't even consciously have our minds set on the offense, and then things can trigger us and we don't really know why we're acting out the way that we're acting out. So
or making choices
and decisions. Yeah, we're being led by the victimization.
I'm gonna keep it real. It was by the grace of God that I had got locked up and went to that recovery program, because that's the first time I talked about what happened to me. So I didn't report it to the law, but I definitely said something about it. Probably 2008 on up, till I wasn't in the recovery working at the Hope Center no more. So it was like 2015. So maybe 2013. It was probably 2013. So to make, keep it real, if I didn't go to that recovery program, I never would have said nothing about it, to anybody. Because I was going to take it to the grave. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt anyway. But by the grace of God, I did go.
And when but you told your mom too, though, right?
Before she died? Yeah. But I had did the recovery program first.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. No, I went to the recovery program after I told my mom.
Yeah, you told your mom.
Yeah, I told my mom with her sitting right there in her house.
Yeah. Talk about that,
I mean, I just had to, because my mom was going to pass, so I wasn't going to let that secret go with my mom passing. I didn't care what the outcome was, because for real, I just wanted to tell on myself. It wasn't even really me telling on her, because that was obvious. it was obvious, but...
What's up, sis?
I think my mom knew.
HTM, Texas in the house. What's up, bruh? Thomas. But yeah, babe, I'm sorry, babe. I'm just giving a shout out to people that you encourage me. Greetings, sis. Miss you. But yeah, babe, I'm listening, babe. For real, we're listening. When you told your mom before she passed away.
I know what I'm talking about.
Well, I know, my husband said that. I heard him when he said that when he did rehabilitation or he did the steps. And I think that he did that after he told his mom. Well, the person that molested him was standing there. So, I don't know, I think that's pretty brave. But
no, because I was telling on myself. That's the brave part. Like, I didn't want to point the finger and say she did something to me, because I think my mom knew that all along. Obviously, from my behavior. You know what I'm saying? So, I think what my mom wanted me to do was just tell her the truth. I told my mom about everything else. STDs, things that I ain't gonna say, unless somebody come ask me, then I'm gonna tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? But I told my mama everything, to the point where one day she told me, I ain't your priest. You ain't gonna come and get your record off on me every time you live the way you live. You won't feel better, you gonna come tell me what you did. So what I did was I grew up and went and told on myself.
I don't know, I remember the first time I had said something outside of telling my dad or Shaquita or whatever, is when I had did a women's, I spoke at like a women's conference, and I had spoke about it. And then I also did a song or a poem where I had spoke about it. But it's definitely a serious matter.
Man,
for real.
It's devastating if you don't tell the truth.
Yeah, my friend, she said, tell him to keep going. We're trying to learn. Continue, sir. Hey, listen.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's devastating when you don't tell the truth. Because I could say that because of my circumstances and what I grew up in, I could say that led me to do things. But no, ultimately, I really just wanted to do those things. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was too young, but growing up in the projects, anywhere where it ain't a whole lot, well, anywhere in America, for that fact, you're going to be exposed to sex early. Whether it's the neighbors, your parents, somebody's going to expose you to it.
Or a child.
A child, like I'm talking about just regular. Just people have sex, that's what you do. You grow up, you have sex. That's what families do. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get married, you have sex and have children. But what I'm saying is we was exposed to sex. Like, I can remember growing up, they try to say, do as I say and not as I do. Or keep us at the room. At least make some distance. A child's supposed to be seen, not heard. At least some distance. You know what I'm saying? They tried. But with me, I wasn't hearing that. I still forced my way downstairs to the party. I still forced my way outside to the pinochle game. That was me. I keep everybody else up, take an ass whooping, still, and then, still come back downstairs. So I know part of me, like, I didn't want that shit to happen. But if I didn't tell my mom, when I told my mom everything else, then maybe quite possibly I like it. I'm just grateful I've never done nothing to no other child or nobody else, and I'm glad I got to go recovery. I'm glad I got that recovery. And recovery is what helped me to go on and see a psychiatrist, because see, for real, I was just going to slide with the recovery. But my oldest daughter, who I'm not talking to right now, I'm going to keep it real, told me to go see a psychiatrist. And I didn't want to because everybody already said I was crazy. I didn't want to be labeled that for real. Maybe I was fighting that. But my behavior and my actions didn't, my behaviors and actions didn't reflect somebody who was fighting that label. It looked like I was trying to earn it. But it was one of the best things I've ever done, because once it was over, like learning how to swim, once you get thrown in the water and you learn how to swim, it's a beautiful thing, the water. And once you go cross your fears, and go talk to somebody, and for real, I hate to say it, but it's pretty much got to be a professional, because we've been placed in the hands of the system, and whatever color they are, we keep it real. We've been placed in the hands of the system, and they are our mom and our dad. Like, for real, until we become accountable for our own selves and our neighborhoods and our communities, guess who our mom and dad is? The system. So right now, to tell the truth, you got to involve the system, and that's where a lot of people don't want to do it. They scared, because it's something you don't want to give up. I can speak for myself. It's always something I don't want to give up. But the one thing I should never do is put myself second. Like, I should love myself, and then if I have a family, I'm supposed to put them first. So whatever steps we have to take, I hate to have to be legal steps, because we don't have accountability as a people. And we're being babysitted by people who don't have accountability themselves. They just have the law on their side. So for real, the reason why I'm really doing this is, just honestly, so I can be a better husband and father. So when I move out to the community, then accountability is already present. So I can't make nobody else do anything. I can only tell you what helped me to be willing, honest, open-minded, and willing to do the right thing. And that don't make me religious, and that don't make me better or less than nobody else. That just makes me timid. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, but it's critical you get help. Like my oldest daughter, I try to get her help. She was 15 years old. She had cuts on her arms. She told me what happened to her family. And yeah, I went crazy. But the main thing was I tried to get her some help. Yeah, I called CPS because here's the thing. If the generational curse is so strong that it's the mama, the grandmama, the great-grandmama, it's probably that deep that don't tell on what happens in the house, I had to break that curse, not in just my family. I had to break that curse in hers too. But here's the thing, here's the system, this is how it plays. I got the CPS to open up a case, but the child from the age of 15 on up till she left Lexington never went to therapy. And she wasn't in my care. It was my daughter. I got her the help, but she was in the care of others who didn't take her to therapy. So I tried to get my oldest daughter therapy. It's on record. I ain't got to prove it to nobody. It's on record. And then I offered my youngest daughter therapy. You know what I'm saying? And till she gets some therapy, she don't want to deal with it. And I understand. I understand that. But I have to do my best by them. That's what recovery taught me. It taught me to take a look at myself. And another thing, like, we're going to be real, like, a lot of times as parents, we're reactive rather than proactive. And I'm guilty of that. I didn't put the time in and the interest into my children that I should have. I was interested in my own interests. I was interested in my own thing. So when they are reactive to the lack of proactivity that I put in them, what am I supposed to do then? I can't point the finger back at my mom and dad and say what they did and didn't do. I'm just gonna tell them, look, man, when you have children, just have them for real. Like, don't just have children just to be having them. And you'll never be ready to have children, but don't have them just to be having them, because they require a lot. And I ain't talking about money and effort. I'm talking about you. And what's so deep is the woman that adopted me, I seen her do that. Like, she had a lot of things going on, but when it was me and her, it was me and her. We read Bible books. Hell, I had to teach her how to spell. Look, man, when she did time with me, she was proactive. And I was not the best example of what she put into me. I'm going to keep it real. What my mother poured into me, I did not reciprocate that instantaneously. Over my lifetime, it has developed. But rebellion was my first love. Because I felt like everybody was telling me what to do all the time. Do this, do that, do this, do that. You do this, you do that. Attention, 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 attention. And you know, maybe it was because I was bad. You know, maybe they had to tell me to do something all the time because I was getting in trouble most of the time. Probably. I don't know how that formula worked, but I don't know. Just my spirit, if I can just be honest and not point the finger, my spirit, I'm rebellious. And for real, when I was growing up, I ain't had no children. All my friends was having children. I ain't had no children. I didn't want no children. I'm going to keep it real. I did not want to have no children. Especially after shit I did at 12 years old. So that's probably why I ain't have a child until I was 20. Real. I don't want this room on me. If I'm trying to help somebody, I don't want this room on me. I'm trying to stay on topic. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was just listening.
We're talking about molestation. I'm telling you where it leads you. You keep secrets. And it wasn't just a secret. Part of me, it was part of me. I must have liked it. You know. I ain't never ever attempted that shit ever again like that. You know what I'm saying? And anytime any other part of me having a regular sexual relationship with somebody, it's always destroyed. Because I have to always, till me and you help me get through my shit. Keep it real, but before then, man, I had to get real drunk or high or some shit just to do something. Because if I didn't, if I was sober, I would think about that shit. Who the fuck wants to have sex and think about that shit? You feel me? And I tried my best to overcome it. Because I was out there just doing whatever I could, you know, pretty much get away with, for real, based on who I was. So I acted out many times, but the one thing I couldn't get out of my mind was that first act. A lot of people bury that shit into their subconscious, try to make it go away like that shit never happened. But that shit haunted me every time. Unless I was drinking a hat. Speak what's on your heart and on your mind.
I just don't like the fact that it takes away your innocence. You know what I'm saying? That part I despise about it, you know. It's like we don't see the effects of it mentally because our brains are covered, but you know, it definitely affects us in a mental way. And that's the part, you know, that I don't like about it. It takes away the child's innocence. You know. And it takes away trust. It takes away the trust for the person or the situation.
The first time I had We Got Cable, I seen something about Emmanuel, something like that. Some girl named Emmanuel, they was doing gay, lesbian, and male. They was like you didn't see the actual like pornography, but you seen, you know, seen that.
You seen stuff.
So that's molestation too.
But it's different.
But I'm not trying to differentiate. Yeah. I'm saying all that. It's like a setup. Like what happened to us was raw. Like it was a kind of setup at the same time too, but it was still like raw. I didn't expect that shit.
Yeah.
I ain't expect that. You know
This
what I'm
one
saying?
says
Like, that shit
unintended.
came out. I know I ain't expect that. But here's the play though. Our society set up to slowly but surely get you to don't say the truth or go along with it. You see what I'm saying? Like the agendas are not slapped on us. They're not traumatized on us. They slowly.
But that's what the predator does too. You know what I'm saying? The predator does that too. Like it's slowly like, I'm pretty sure your sister abused you in other ways. Or, you know, like you said,
pretty sure about it. She did.
That's what I'm saying. When she did stuff, I know from just, you know, dealing with the shit that I used to deal with, just, you know, in my household, just like, you know.
People, what she is, as a people, we like to say that's just brother and sister shit.
Yeah, civil rivalry.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Civil rivalry is like when you like 1, 2, 3 years apart. When you like 11 years apart, that's not civil rivalry. That's civil. That's civil. You know what I'm saying? If I was already messed up, that didn't help me none.
That's rivalry.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was straight rivalry. You know what I'm saying? The bad part about it, we was on the same team, so we had to fight together. You know what I'm saying? But for real, 2 of the fights she lost in her life was by me. Yeah, I got you when I stabbed you in the foot, when the fight in the chest that court. And I definitely won that day over Mama's house on 6th Street. So what I'm saying is, like, I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to fight you. You know, and long before I was fighting myself. See, I got a little education, so I do know some things. And it's all about self. See, when you point the finger for real, you got to find where you are in that. Like,
well, I definitely surely take accountability. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't think, and I do think that everybody needs counsel, because that's automatic accountability. But if I do something wrong, I don't have no problem saying I did wrong. You feel me? Because I don't have a problem telling the truth. So I do feel like some people do have a problem with taking accountability.
I'm going to tell you a real deep story about accountability. I done told you this before. But I was sitting in a recovery class, and there was a guy, his name was Neil Taylor. And he said, a baby got molested. What part did the baby play in that? And, you know, it's a room full of criminals and drug addicts. And everybody's like, hey, baby ain't guilty of nothing. And then, you know, some people got mad. A couple people walked out. Somebody wanted to fight him and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because the baby's innocent. What can a baby do? Well, he went on to explain, a baby can grow up, and if it doesn't get the help that it needs, it's going to turn out to do the same thing that happened to it. And that shit hit me like a ton of bricks, because I wanted that baby to be innocent so bad. But that's not the life we live in. And definitely not the country, the world we live in. And this country is designed to molest you. Come out the womb, you get molested. They take your blood and your uterus and use that for something. They sign you over on a social security card. That's a bank account. Most people don't even know about it, but they do all kinds of things. You get molested straight out the womb in this country.
So do you think that the system is ultimately accountable?
No, I think we're here and we have to hold ourselves accountable once we know better. Ignorance is, you know, they say it's a motto or a saying. Ignorance is no excuse of the law. And God has laws, you know what I'm saying? So that's why he have laws, so we'll know we're doing wrong. Because if you don't know you're doing wrong, like that baby, if it never figured out what happened to it, and you'll be like, well, how could a baby figure it out? Oh, they can. Babies remember stuff. Trust me. Okay. Babies remember stuff. Trust and believe that. And if you go through therapy, if you realize your behavior and your attitudes are not lining up with what people around you who care about you are suggesting to you, then you need therapy. Hands down. If you're not able, once you realize the difference between right and wrong, if you're not able to take the advice and suggestions that the people around you are demonstrating, something happened. So I'd say it's fair to say that most people who are criminals, who sell drugs, go into prostitution, go strip at the titty bar, who do a lot of things, and it's not just black people, it's all across the board. But I don't think if you really had an opportunity to do the right thing, that that's the right thing to do. It's a choice that you make. And if you realize it ain't wrong, like a lot of girls go into the titty bar, they don't last long. because they realize that's a bad choice. And I can use drug dealing. A lot of guys jumped in the game, went to prison earlier. Got killed quick. It was a bad choice. But we always have a choice, man. And when you don't have a choice, it's how you respond to it. Okay.
She just don't want to get in trouble.
You know, I don't point the finger or blame the system. I take accountability for my part, but I have to see my part I play in that system. I have to relegate myself to just my position. I can't play all the positions.
Well, I don't know. I think that for me, talking about this is kind of draining. You know what I'm saying? In a good way, but it drains me because I guess I've been silently dealing with it for so long. I don't know. Why would it drain? She's okay. Why would it be draining, babe? For me?
It drains you because it's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to build yourself up spiritually too. Like, we have to do spiritual exercises as well as physical exercise and mental exercise. You know what I'm saying? So you have to build yourself up spiritually. And the one thing we do every day is we read the word, man. We might not be like, you know, studying all day long, you know, because man, I ain't gonna front. I don't do that. I just read it. You know, I try to pay attention to the words I read that day. That's good enough for me. All that extra studying and all that, they ain't gonna make me good at knowing it.
But when we listen to Dr. Miles Monroe, it teaches us how to. I feel like it teaches us how to apply it.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as draining you, yeah, that's what it do. You know, I used to do like give a lead and talk in front of like 200-300 people, man. And like when I was done, I would be so wore out. That's because spiritually, a lot, like one person can talk to one person, or one person like now, I can talk to I don't know how many people. You see what I'm saying? Potentially, or more. That's draining. You know what I'm saying? So, especially, but it's not a bad thing. You know, it's a good thing because what it does kind of takes away the guilt, shame, and remorse, all the things that are not healthy for you. Anytime you detox, that's about the best way to put it. Anytime you detox from something, you're gonna feel drained.
And you have to be replenished.
Yeah, and you gotta replace that with let me say the deepest way I know how. You gotta replace that with an opportunity. You know, one thing you said, your dad said was in the pandemic was, no, it's not time to freeze up, it's time for opportunity. He said money, but get your money, but I heard opportunity. Yeah. And that's true, because think about how many people created their own businesses and content creators and all that.
Yeah, but what he realized is because I didn't get the opportunity to get the help that I asked for, you know what I'm saying? It was hard for me to. Shit, I've been getting money ever since up to that point.
Focused.
So
it's hard to stay focused.
It's like I felt like when you don't get help, from my experience, that you get to a certain point, even though on the outside, if it might be looking like you getting money to other people, or you doing good, you holding it together, you parenting, you doing organizations and all this kind of stuff. We've seen older people that's in position that never got any help, and it affects you. It still affects you, and you can see it. Like we might not think that people can see that we acting out. Like, for instance, like one of my friends, like, she asked somebody else that was a mutual friend. She was like, when I was leading lady, she was like, what happened to her? You know what I'm saying? Like, something happened to her. Like, I know something happened to her. You know why? Because something had happened to her. So it's like, as much as the unhealthy effects of it is, even though mentally you're strong enough to still function as like a functioning alcoholic or a functioning drug addict, at one point in life, it's gonna hit you. That's like, when you realize you got to go back home because I got evicted and I got a baby. You know what I'm saying? I got to go back home because, like, I missed a step. So it's going to be a point where you run into a brick wall. And that's what I did. That's why I couldn't comprehend what my dad was saying when he was saying, this ain't the time to feel weary. They coming back, sweetie. This ain't the time to feel weary. What y'all doing? Hiding the mirror? Because you right behind her. What are you doing? Come here, mirror. What's going on?
Nothing.
Are y'all hiding from them?
No, we're playing.
Okay. Well, you make sure you play
appropriately.
Yeah. You too, Antigua.
And what are you doing? Well, you're not gonna play in here. We're in here doing something outside. It's a whole world out there.
So y'all need to find Amira and Adrian.
Well, Mira's in the house playing Samira sleeping. Samira was asleep there.
Oh, you waiting on the mirror?
Okay.
Go around back and wait. Go around back and wait on the back porch.
Okay.
Yeah, it just came to a point, where I hit a brick wall. And I'm thankful for my husband because he did suggest that I get therapy, and I listened. I could have not listened to him, and no telling where I would be right now if I didn't listen to him. But I'm glad I did because no matter how draining it is, it's worth it. And then me, I like to challenge myself, and I like to, so I'm always gonna take a step forward, especially since I have a platform as being a digital creator or content creator to share and maybe to help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because that's ultimately, once you have self-control, that's what life is about. It's not about giving away something free to somebody, or it says if you teach a man how to fish, you know what I'm saying, then, so the best way I know how to help is to demonstrate. And so that's what it is. It's a demonstration of the healing process of once you do get the therapy, or, just taking the necessary steps to get to the point where you feel like you can tell somebody or get some therapy or help somebody. It's just steps that, has to be taken. That's like, I'm going to share something real personal. I've had one abortion. You know what I'm saying? And, I remember before I had children or anything, it was like probably like, I don't know, at least like 7 or 8 years before I had any children. It was a young lady that I was close to that was pregnant, and she decided to have an abortion. She asked me to come with her, accompany her to, kind of just make sure she was okay and be a comfort. And I never forget, she's like, it was early in the morning that she had to go. And she called me that morning. She was like, I'm ready. I'm on my way to come and get you. And she came and got me. And I was in the car, but, for me, I just felt like, I didn't have any children at the time. She didn't have any children at the time. So, I think that would have been her first child. And I had a bad feeling about it. Like, I just couldn't grasp the idea of doing that. And so we had stopped at a light, and I got out the car and I just ran. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I can't be the one to go to do this. And I don't feel like that necessarily make me a bad friend. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do you think, babe?
Yeah, keep going. So
I was scared. I was scared. I didn't agree with it.
Okay, well, that
at the
happened,
time.
And that happened.
Yeah.
And why are you saying that? Because you said you did something. You said that because
I ran. I ran. I was a coward. For me, you know what I'm saying? Looking back, I don't know. I don't really know what that was. If somebody know what that was, you know what I'm saying? Comment. But for real, I didn't agree with that at the time. I just didn't. I didn't. I didn't have the mental maturity to be what she needed me to be at that time. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think, honestly, she's even mad at me because we still have a relationship to this day. Maybe she was maybe hurt or a little disappointed in me. But I don't think she's mad at me because I don't think that we would still have a relationship that we have today. However, you know, I failed at being what she needed me to be at the time. I'm going to say it like that. However, you know, later on, like I said, I went and I had an abortion years later. So it doesn't, you know, looking at that situation, though, it don't make me better than her. We did the same thing. You know, it was just that, like I said, at that time, I couldn't be the friend she needed me to be. And, you know, shout out to her if she does get to see this video. You know, I just want to let you know I love you and I don't judge you at all. For real. You did what you felt like you needed to do at the time. I didn't agree with it then, and I didn't agree what I did as well. You know what I'm saying? So I had to repent for my sins and, you know, just, you know, learn from my mistake and move different. Yeah. But, you know, I'm all for embarrassing myself or shaming myself or, you know, or put myself on or my life on display if it's going to help somebody else or, you know, because I've had a lot of people in my life that have done the same thing for me. So that's why, you know, I don't have a problem sharing my mistakes because I'm not gonna let nobody shame me or make me feel like I'm a bad person or I didn't do this when I'm demonstrating and I'm whatever through the shame, the hurt, the whatever. You know what I'm saying? I pray that God is pleased with His daughter. You know what I'm saying? For not caring about what other people think.
I hated being judged, man, but I hate to judge too. So one thing I have to make sure I do in our relationship, man, is keep what I know as far as like all the clinical shit and all that. I have to keep that out of this. That's almost impossible.
What's the clinical stuff?
Just what I know about caseworking, therapy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Social work and all that. Like I have to be your husband. I can't be your therapist, so I have to be careful. And it's hard to do that. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think? What's clinically like? I don't understand.
No, I'm saying when you talk to your therapist different than when you talk to me. Because that's a whole nother person. You see what I'm saying? So I try not to be a therapist while we talk. I'm talking about even on camera or off camera. Because I don't do everything perfect for sure. I haven't done everything perfect. You know what I'm saying? I believe I'm doing better. So I can't allow my past mistakes to hold me down either. I think we're doing our best right now. For real, I'm proud of both of us.
But do I enjoy doing it? No. I'm just gonna keep it real, you know what I'm saying? I don't.
I don't think I wanted to do the right thing if it went against what I wanted. But once I started to learn, I ain't completely learned, but once I started to learn, to not be afraid of what everybody else was suggesting, or even what I knew to be the right thing to do, you know, just it changed my life gradually. Over time, it's changed. I changed. Like since 2008, I ain't sold no drugs. Like, that's amazing within itself. Like, just, I could have easily, like, all my situations and problems and shit I was going through, I could have easily turned this shit around one deal. But something in me, once I learned about myself, once I went through a recovery program, learned about myself, it wasn't the same. Like, they tell you that, like, once you gain knowledge of why you're doing something, you ain't gonna go back to doing it. You're not gonna have the same, you're not gonna be able to do it the same. It's gonna be different. So it's, what I'm saying is it's worth it to me. My claim is that I was never afraid or scared or nothing like that, but I was scared of myself. So the biggest hurdle to overcome is not other people, it's me. So I've been chopping that down a little bit by a little bit because my pride was huge. So it ain't nothing you could just get knocked down with one fell swoop. It's been nice though, but it's been a little bit by a little bit, a little bit by a little bit. But it's worth it. Because what it's told me is I'm not dirty.
Yeah, because I know you said that when it happened, you don't think you said nothing because part of you liked it, and it's funny because I know part of you felt dirty. You know what I'm saying?
I felt dirty
the other
the whole
part
night.
felt dirty.
I felt dirty the whole night. I liked it till it was over. I guess that's pretty much like how sex is for real if you ain't doing it the righteous way. As soon as it's over, it's over with. You know, the only feelings I've ever carried over, really honestly, to be honest with you, after it was over with, has been in this marriage right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still have feelings. It wasn't just an act. But I definitely felt dirty after it. But I don't think I told my mom not because I felt dirty. Because when she talked about me like I wasn't nothing, put her hands on me, I told her.
Yeah, you knew your mama would have did something drastic. You know, that's what it was. It would have been drastic because that's a drastic thing. So a drastic measure would have happened. You know, your mama would have did something drastic that would have changed that whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and another thing is like I cared about her in a twisted ass way. You know what I'm saying? You know, because she still was my sister.
No, I think your mama would have left.
No, I'm talking about I cared about my sister.
Yeah,
I didn't tell her because of that too, because I did think something was definitely gonna happen to her.
Drastic.
Yeah. I was confused. Shit, I was 8 years old. I knew to hit back and talk back.
I think that was the agenda though. What's the confusion?
Yeah, because my sister obviously was confused.
Exactly.
Shit. So we get down to the nitty gritty of it. A lot of people think people are crazy, but that's demonic possession. That's an old demon. And he rips through families. It's an old demon. It terrorizes. You know, that's why I read the scriptures every morning. Like I've been all over the world, man. I done studied a little bit of this and a little bit of everything. I done practiced with this and practiced that. I done did a lot. And what led me back to the word is that it's real. Like I'm saying, when I read Proverbs, it tells me what's going to happen for today. That's a living word. Now maybe I make it living to me because of my experiences and my knowledge. But if I was to keep it real, like it's a lot of other things I could be doing. I got a lot of books and I got a lot of different stuff. My wife said I'm an astronaut. So I'd be all off in the, talking about the moon, stars, and Jupiter. How you do it? You did it with a ram and try to not, remember when you did it? Something about the moon, Saturn, and Jupiter, Mars, or something.
That was in the third grade time.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that I'm like a space cadet. I won't talk about other things. Yeah. And every morning, my 51-year-old ass get up and read that word, don't it? I might talk about some space cadet shit, but I still read that word every morning. Because it's real. It's because it holds me accountable. It makes me take a look at myself. Because I used to read the word and think about everybody else. I read the Bible, I pick everybody else out in there, boy. I wouldn't be nowhere in there but Jesus. Shit, for real. I couldn't even read the Bible. And I couldn't even read the Bible without dissecting somebody else.
Everybody can relate to that. For real. Because
it took me to go through the recovery program and then pick the Bible up in my last incarceration. Before God said, hey, nigga, I'm talking to you and I'm keeping it simple. I don't want you to read the whole Bible. I just want you to read a proverb a day. It's 31 days in a month, and on the day it's 30, you're going to read 2. And here I come with my part. Oh, God, I'm going to add Psalms to it. Because I'm like David. I've been dirty, Lord, and I'm trying to get clean. He said, boy, you ain't David. Your name is Timothy. That means honoring God. So what you're going to do is you're going to do this recovery. You're going to stop selling drugs. You're going to stop doing other things. You're going to do this recovery program. And you're going to walk humbly, even though the rest of the world is going to give you hell. But you're going to walk humbly until you understand this relationship with me. And I did not do that to perfection. So it took me another, 15 years. And then the last incarceration, he got my motherfucking attention. He said, you've been able to get yourself out all these other times, but you're not going to be able to do it this time. He said, but you read this word every day, the proverb every day, I'm going to show you how I'm going to get you out. And this is the God's honest truth. My bond price was down to $1,500. I had a white guy I was walking the square with, and I would read the word every day. You know what I'm saying? And I just kept walking the square with him, and we was talking, and we was talking, and we was talking, and we was talking. And one day, man, like right before Christmas, a week before Christmas, the man says to me, man, look, I'm going to bond you out. And I got like $9,000 on this card. At first, it took 2 or 3 days to get me bonded out because my people's Corey Dunn, man, came and got the money. It came and got the card from the man's possession and then bond me out. So it took a while. But by the time I left, he said, man, don't worry about getting me out. I'm being selfish. You know, that hit me, man, like a ton of bricks. This man, my bond was $1,500. He still had $7,500 on that card. His bond wasn't nothing but $3,500. He was out. He was good as out. Soon as I got my hands on that card, he was out of there. Especially after he bonded me out. But before I left, that man told me, don't bond him out. Hold on to the card till his son come get it. Now, here I am. God done got me out of jail, and I'm sitting with this card, and my children's living in Cardinal Valley. And the man told me, he said, you can get you a phone, man, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, I'm going to trust you with this money. And man, I'm telling you, it didn't even cross my mind to go get an apartment with that money, go do something so my children could come stay with me. It didn't even cross my mind. What crossed my mind was keep your word. Because the Proverbs I read that day before, because I got out 2 days before, the day after Christmas. I got out the day after Christmas. That was Proverbs 26. The reason why I didn't take that car and go get me a crib and just pay that man back, I could have found a way to make it right, but I wouldn't have kept my word. So just imagine just you in that situation where you locked up, you know your children is struggling where they at, you get out, you got this access to this money on this man's card, and you could have just solved your problem like that. And like I said, man, what that man said the day before I left, because every day up to the day before I was going to get out, all the way up to Christmas, that's what he said. He said shit on Christmas Day. He said, man, when you get out, don't bond me out. That fucked me up. It struck me. Because he knew the best place for him was to be in jail. Because he knew he's going to get out, he's going to go straight and do some drugs. He knew it. So, you know, I got out of jail. God got me out of jail. I didn't get out of jail. God got me out of jail. So I did what he told me. I laid on the floor, you know what I'm saying, shit for months. Till I got a job, you know what I'm saying, and just make sure I kept an eye on my children and read the word every day and make sure my presence was around them every day. If I had to walk, catch a bus, it didn't matter. You know. But I don't want my youngest daughter to have no secrets, you know what I'm saying? I want her to get some therapy. And justice is gonna come for sure. I can't make her do something, man. She gotta want to do it. And if I was proactive rather than reactive, you know. So when I mean be proactive, I should have told my mom the truth. So if anybody's out there holding the truth in, and you don't want that to affect your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, then you gotta tell your truth. And I'm sorry, but our moms and dads are not our moms and dads in the community. It's the system. And I ain't trying to discourage you from being real or telling the truth, but I'm trying to keep it real with you. Because you're going to see them sooner or later. You're going to end up in jail. If you don't tell the truth, you're going to end up in jail or somewhere where you're going to see the system anyway. And if I'm lying, somebody prove me wrong, man. You're going to wind up seeing the system if you don't tell the truth. I'll become part of it and be one of the best at it. I don't want either one of them. So I want my children to be able to tell the truth. I want the people around me to be able to tell the truth. So I have to tell the truth.
You make a noise you usually make when you. Oh, you can really not do that. Oh,
You good at it. You good at it. No, he didn't make a sound.
Well, I'm glad I can be myself around you. I ain't got too much to say. No, but I appreciate my husband, though, for real. I think that it's a good thing, especially for men, to be able to talk about it, because I think that a lot of men, they go through similar things that we go through as women, and they're trained not to tell their truth, and I think that a lot of them think that they're less than a man if they don't report what happened to them. So I just think that it's healthy. It's equally as healthy for men to, you know, talk about their offenses that may have happened to them as well, because the trauma, it always shows up in behavior. The effects of the trauma always shows up in behavior. But yeah, today is a real peaceful, calm day. I'm just sitting here playing cards right now. Baby sleep. Children outside playing. I got some homework I need to do too. But you know, anybody out there that's ever experienced any type of childhood trauma, man, I just, you know, my heart goes out to you. And you know, from one person that's been affected to another, I would say therapy is definitely essential. You know, when we need spiritual healing or cleansing, we tend to go to church, seek out pastor, fellowship. When we have physical injury, we go to the hospital and see a doctor. So I feel like there's no difference when it comes to mental health. Therapy is definitely needed, especially in our community, because I feel like a lot of us feel like we're weak when we do think about therapy or the topic comes up, but it actually makes you strong and brave to be able to face, you know, to face yourself. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be able to have this dialogue. I think it's important, especially living in the times that we're living in, and being through, the history that we've been through. And I just feel like if we set the example by tackling these hard issues, that it'll be beneficial to the next generation. So with that being said, I'm not going to stay on here long. And optimal health as well. Peace.